Good evening, everybody, or good morning for some people. I figured I'd leave you a post. I'm going to put this on Twitter as well as YouTube as well. So, I have this shirt right here, you can see. I interned for Nike, so I know the McAllister family, and I know his relative or my relative that was the director for the finance department for Nike. So I know the rules and regulations when it comes to that business because my boss, Melissa, worked with the chief informational officer when I was there. What I'm going to explain as nicely as I can say it, and I hope they understand this. Kim's company, Skims, is not hers anymore. Her mother, Kristen, should really have Mr. Brad Slater given a phone call. The company is not hers because she had a promissory note on her business. The promissory note that was on her business, I had wrote for the bank. Chase has a company before this. It was JP Morgan Chase. It was Apple Bank. It was Chemical Bank. There are two acquisition reports that were done with Chase. When those two reports were done, she doesn't understand. Kim Kardashian does not understand this. When you sign a promissory note and you can't pay it back, you have to go into court. I went into court. Those companies that she owns is not hers anymore. Her mother, Kristen H., her maiden name, her father, he was a clothing designer. My cousin, who is related to Mr. Slater, and I are related to the Gardner family or the Gardone family. You cannot take a name like Skims or whatever and decide to change it. Mrs. Jenner or Mrs. Kardashian, I'm talking about Kris to begin with, as she's called the mommy manager or whatever. She has to explain to you, Nike headquarters, and I hope this board of directors, meaning a video, goes to you. You can't do anything with Nike because, no offense, Nike is a steeled logo. That check mark is my relative's. So you cannot steal. Number one, you cannot make an articles of corporation without any of those investors. You have a company called Berkshire Hathaway, which is by a very famous person who owns most of those companies like Coca-Cola. Well, I'm sorry to say this. Unless you're not alive or you're not existent, a lot of those companies can't be in business because I'm going to explain this. Prior to me interning at Nike, I was at New York Life. I have a hedge fund license. Nike is owned by me. I own Coca-Cola. I own part of the Yum Foods Corporation. All of those companies have copyright infringements. You people are not following what the investors are doing. You stole from the investors. I'm one of the investors. She can't run that business because the parent company that owns Skims is not her mother's, it's her cousin's relatives, and those people don't want to pay debt. Now, there's a bank called Barclay Bank. She has one promissory note owes. She owes a promissory note from Chase Manhattan Bank. She owes a promissory note from Bank of America. Those are 3 promissory notes. They're in the millions of dollars. She can't pay it back. So I'm saying this. I'm 5 minutes and 13 seconds in. I'm doing this in my room to begin with, out of respect. You can't move forward because you people at Nike or the board of directors don't get it. You're a subsidiary. You're not a parent company anymore. You have to go in front of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, just like you have to go in front of the board that handles commerce law. That's New York State. That's not in Oregon, because the Bowman family are related to me, and that's the original founders. You can't steal a commercial copyright just like you can't steal a logo. It's illegal. United States patent law has precedent in cases dealing with this. So I'm telling you, I hope this video gets sent to you guys. You cannot move forward with that company because Brad Slater, you need to tell her you're in a copyright infringement problem and she has to be quiet. She can't do anything with her businesses because she has a big problem with their Treasury Department, and apparently she has a house upstate that she forgot to mention to one of my advisors. You can't steal anymore. And not only that, I am shutting you down. The governor and the district attorney and the Secretary of State of New York and Albany want answers. You owe them whatever the promissory note is. It's in the millions of dollars. You can't pay it back. So thank you. Have a good day.